The security footage begins at 3:14 a.m. The elevator doors open in the lobby. Nobody gets out. For a few seconds, nothing happens. Then the building manager notices something strange. There's someone standing inside the elevator, perfectly still, a woman. Pale clothes, long dark hair, smiling, but she isn't facing the camera. She's facing the back corner of the elevator, like she's watching someone standing above her. The problem is, according to the building's official records, the elevator should never have stopped there, because Building C doesn't have a 7th floor, at least not anymore. Act 1. Building C. Building C sits at the edge of an older residential district just outside downtown. The kind of place people move into temporarily. Cheap rent, thin walls, long hallways. Most residents barely know each other, and almost everyone avoids talking about the elevator, especially after midnight. The building officially has 6 floors. You can see it in the floor plans. 6 buttons, 6 levels, nothing unusual. But for more than 20 years, tenants have reported the same thing. Sometimes late at night, the elevator skips floor 6 and stops at 7. Most people who experience it never report it. Some move out immediately, others pretend it never happened. But a few people talked, and every story shares some of the same details. The cold, the hallway, and the woman waiting there. Act 2. Carla. In 2008, a nursing student named Carla moved into apartment 614. She worked overnight hospital shifts and usually came home around 2 a.m. One night, after a double shift, she entered the elevator alone. Pressed 6, the doors closed. The elevator began moving normally. Then suddenly, Carla later said the air changed instantly. Not gradually, immediately. Her breath became visible. The lights dimmed slightly, and the elevator stopped. When the doors opened, there was no apartment hallway, just a narrow concrete corridor stretching into darkness. No lights, no doors nearby, no sound, except for one thing. At the far end of the hallway, a woman standing completely still. Carla said she couldn't see her face clearly at first, only that something about her posture felt wrong, like she was leaning slightly forward, waiting. The elevator doors stayed open, longer than normal. Carla hit the close button repeatedly. Nothing happened. Then the woman moved, not walking, just one small shift forward. The doors slammed shut immediately. Carla rode the rest of the way to floor 6 in complete silence. The next morning, she reported the incident to management. Their response was short. There is no floor 7. No follow-up, no inspection, nothing. Carla moved out 18 days later. But before leaving, she told another tenant something disturbing. Every night after the incident, she woke up to the sound of elevator doors opening, right outside her bedroom. Act 3. The rules. By 2011, residents had developed unofficial rules. Nobody wrote them down. People just learned them. If the elevator skips 6, get ready. If the doors open to darkness, don't look down the hallway. And if you see the woman, close the doors as quickly as you can. No one knows where the rules came from, but older tenants repeated them seriously, like survival instructions. One resident claimed the elevator doors once opened on floor 7 while he was riding alone. He kept his eyes on the floor the entire time. He said he heard soft footsteps enter the elevator, then breathing beside him. The doors closed. The elevator continued downward. But when it reached the lobby, he was alone again, except for one thing. There was water on the floor beside him. Dark footprints, bare feet, leading nowhere. Act 4. The fire. City records confirm that Building C originally had a 7th floor, but most public documents were quietly altered after a fire in 1998. Officially, the fire started because of faulty wiring. Unofficially, former residents tell a different story. Multiple tenants from the 7th floor reportedly complained about strange noises before the fire. Knocking inside walls, voices in empty apartments, elevators opening on their own. One woman repeatedly called management claiming someone was standing in the hallway outside her apartment every night, smiling. Weeks later, the fire began on floor 7. It spread unnaturally fast. Several residents escaped, some didn't. But according to archived emergency dispatch logs, firefighters reported hearing screaming from inside the elevator shaft long after the floor had already collapsed. Then came the strangest part. No official death count from floor 7 was ever released. No names, no records. It was as if the entire floor disappeared from history overnight. And eventually, so did the floor itself. At least on paper. Act 5. The Security Guard. In 2012, a night security guard named Luis reviewed footage from the lobby cameras. At 3:14 a.m., the elevator opened on floor 1. Nobody exited, but for 3 frames, someone appeared inside, a woman standing motionless. Luis paused the footage, zoomed in. That's when he noticed something wrong. She wasn't facing the camera. She was staring upward, smiling at the ceiling. Luis reportedly watched the footage several more times before calling building management. Then he quit 3 weeks later. When another employee asked why, Luis said something strange. She wasn't looking at the ceiling. What was she looking at? Luis answered, something above the elevator. Act 6. Eric. A tenant named Eric disappeared in 2017. Security footage showed him entering the elevator at 1:12 a.m. He pressed floor 3. The doors closed, but the elevator never stopped on 3. At 1:14, the elevator reopened in the lobby. Empty. Police searched the building. No signs of foul play, no evidence Eric ever left. His keys were later discovered inside the elevator, along with something else, a burned room key, stamped with the numbers 714. There has never officially been an apartment 714. But several former tenants claim they've seen that number before, at the end of the hallway, on floor 7. Final incident. Last year, a college student named Megan accidentally recorded what may be the only existing footage of floor 7. The clip begins inside the elevator. Shaky camera, nervous breathing. Then the floor indicator changes. The doors open. Concrete hallway. Darkness. Silence. Then Megan whispers, "There's someone there." At the far end of the hallway, a woman stands motionless, pale clothing, long hair, smiling. Then, slowly, the woman raises one arm and points, not at Megan, past her, toward the inside of the elevator. Megan turns the camera and the video cuts. She deleted the footage the next morning, moved out less than 2 weeks later. And according to one former neighbor, she still wakes up every night at exactly 3:14 a.m. to the sound of elevator doors opening outside her bedroom. Management still denies the existence of floor 7. The official floor plans still show only 6 levels, and most tenants refuse to talk about the elevator at all. But every few months, someone new reports the same thing. The elevator stops, the doors open, and the hallway is waiting. Last month, a resident accidentally photographed floor 7 just before the elevator doors closed. The image is blurry, dark, almost impossible to make out, except for one detail. At the end of the hallway, every apartment door is slightly open, and inside each doorway, someone appears to be standing there, watching the elevator, waiting for someone else to arrive.